welcome back to Duane and Nadia, Food, Travel, and Fun. Yep, Duane again, back in the kitchen. And today I am going to make something that is called a baked zucchini pinwheel. And there are different ways of doing it, and got my little zucchinis. I've only got 3, it really calls for 4. That's okay, I'll make it with 3. It's a nice, one of those keto type recipes. Healthy, low carb. So a lot of people would definitely be interested in it. And I'm here to see just how good I can make it and how great it can taste. So I'm including a lot of your very readily accessible ingredients. All right. So, I mean, I've got ricotta with onion, some pepperoni, I got mozzarella and Parmesan cheese, and you know, some marinara, some olive oil, you know, parsley, basil. I'm gonna add some garlic and pepper as well because I like those, and it only needs like a little pinch of salt to all of this. So I'm gonna show you all the steps, walk you through it, and gonna make us a nice lunch. This is gonna be my lunch today, so I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna enjoy it for lunch and share it with you and let you know what I think. So be right back. Let me get a couple things going here and we'll continue. So, to start this recipe off, I've preheated the oven to 400 degrees. We're actually going to go in and out of the oven twice, but the temperature doesn't change. So the first time is to get the zucchini in there and just to soften it up. And we're going to get a little flavor going on it as well. So, and we're going to take the zucchini, and I am using notice these are small. So, and we're going to cut them in half, make them even smaller, and find a nice direction that works well. And I'm cutting them into about 1/4 inch slices. So 1/4 inch is really good. Now if you have like this little rounded side with the peel, it may be a little easier just to cut that part of that peel off just to give it a nice flat, so when it sits in the pan, it won't want to just roll over on you. Not a big deal, but just a little extra step that can't hurt. So let me keep chopping these up, and as I chop them, for now I'm going to put them in this little sheet pan over here, which I have off to the side. We're going to end up with a whole bunch of these. See, I'll show you in case that's not on there. I did line the sheet pan with some parchment paper. I'm going to put them nice and close, and then I'm going to do the drizzling of, I'm going to drizzle some of the olive oil over them with a little bit of salt. I'll show you that as well. But you know, I might even make my step a little easier and just cut that little bit of skin off and then just work all the way through. I have a feeling that might make this process even easier. And it does. It seems to be going really nice now that I've done that. The last one looks a little challenged to cut, but it went okay. They don't have to be absolutely perfect, just nice. You know, try to stay consistent. That way they do cook well when you put them in the oven. And actually, I think I'm going to make my life a little bit easier on the pan side, and I'm going to drizzle some of this in here first, because you want olive oil on both sides of these. And then I'll put them right on the olive oil. And that way when I come back, all I have to do is just drizzle olive oil over the top, add a little salt, and throw them in the oven. So you can watch me zoom through this. I will speed it up for you. So, as you can see, I've got all, the 3 filled this beautifully. It was a surprise. And I switched my container. I didn't like how quickly that other olive oil container poured. So I just want a nice, I want some control here. I'm actually going to be able to just go right down these little guys. And I'm not trying to put a ton, but I'm trying to get a nice even amount on each of them. Get this olive oil, and I was afraid with that other container it was just going to be a little too messy. You know, looking at a couple of these are a little light still. Now there's already olive oil on the bottom because I did hit the bottom of the pan with olive oil. So I'm just getting a nice coating over the top of all of these. That way there's no dry skin, there's no dry actual flesh inside, whatnot. They feel nice and oiled up. And it's also going to give the salt a little something to stick to. So that looks great. I'm going to cover that. And now I'm going to come back. And the recipe calls for like a dash of salt. I want to see. Okay, it's barely coming. Oh, there it goes. Barely coming out. So I'm just going to put a little bit of salt on these guys. Not too much. It did not come. It came out very slow. So I'm going to take this off. It's a little oily. I'm going to do a touch of pepper. Same thing. Just enough to give it a little bit of color. And lastly, I like my garlic as well. So you can do this recipe with just salt if you choose. Me, I like to have my special little collection. I love salt, pepper, garlic. I think it's kind of the holy grail of basic seasonings. And here it is. I'm going to put this in the oven right now. It's going to go in for 15 minutes till these get nice and soft, but not overly cooked. I still have to take them out and be able to work with them to make the little pinwheels. So in they go, and I'll be right back. And once I've taken these out, actually, while they're inside, I'm going to show you the stuffing that I'm going to make to go inside here out of the ricotta cheese and so forth. So let me pop these in. See you in a sec. So while the zucchini's in the oven, I'm going to show you the ricotta cheese filling. So here I got my ½ cup or so of ricotta. Let me put this in. I've got my Parmesan cheese. That's like a ¼ cup. Mozzarella cheese is not going to go in this. That'll be set aside. It's going to go into the pan. It's going to go on top of the marinara and on top of the actual zucchini once they're set up. This is my about a ¼ cup or so of, I used white onion, but you could use yellow onion, you could use red onion, whatever your preference is. You don't have to use onion at all. So, but me, I wanted to kick it up a touch because I like my onion, and in another aspect of kicking it up, I took about maybe a dozen thin slices of pepperoni, and I diced them up small, as you can see, and I'm gonna pop them in. Get in there. And we're gonna mix all of this together with 1 egg. It doesn't have to be a large egg. It's really just so this will hold together and so you can get a nice consistency once it's all mixed up. Put that over there. I'm gonna mix it with a fork. I like to kind of get the egg mixed up a little bit and then bring everything else together. And I'll show you what this looks like very shortly here, once this is all mixed. Doesn't take long at all. I'm hoping this is enough filling. I mean, it's supposed to be. I'm gonna find out. It looks pretty good. There's a nice amount. You only add about a teaspoon for each one of these. So this should really, it's close. There's not a lot of teaspoons here, but there's a few. So you just want this well mixed. It doesn't have to have everything. I've got it mixed. I'm gonna add my little bit of, this is basil. There you go. As you can see, I just kind of coated it with basil. And I'm gonna do about the same with parsley. We're talking a ¼ to a ½ teaspoon of each. Mix that in. And that's it. Get mixed in there nice. It's gonna give a nice little color, a little bit of a nice herby flavor to it. It'll basically help the finish. So, and there we go. So I'm going to spread it out in here just so you can kind of get a good view of it when I hold it up. Yeah. All right, so let's bring that in close, and there you go. That is the mixture. So I'm going to add this to my little pinwheels as we make them. So what I've done is taken about a ¼ cup of marinara, excuse me, and spread it out. I like to, you put it in the middle, you shake the pan, you shake the pan, you spin it, you shake the pan, and it gives you a nice even spread, as you can see. Gonna take a little bit of the cheese and put that across the bottom as well. So as I make my pinwheels, they're gonna sit in this little bed that we've got set up here. And I'll use the remaining cheese on top. I'm not putting a ton of cheese on here. I think it's arbitrary how much. This is mozzarella. If you really love cheese, use a little more. If you're not such a huge fan, if you're really trying to be healthy, definitely, by all means, use less. I mean, all I'm doing here, I'm your guide today. I am not a strict enforcer of anything. Please, in the comments, you got ideas, you tried something, you think you think there's something great that I could have tried that I didn't do, share, let me know. So I'm just giving you a place to start from. Trust me, many recipes I make, matter of fact, even this one, are modifications of an original. So it wasn't my original idea, I'm just making it the way I think I'll like it. So there you go, as you can see, I got the cheese all spread out nicely, and it's just a matter of waiting for our little zucchinis to come out of the oven and let them cool a little bit, enough so I can handle them, and then we'll roll them up and go from there. I'll be back in a few minutes when they come out of the oven. All right guys, so it's actually been 20 minutes, so I'm going to adjust the timing on this recipe. Oops. And I'm taking it out of the oven now. I checked it a couple times. I'm going to bring it nice and close to you. You see where one gets a little thin and she turned a little brown, but that's okay. Here they are. Let me see. Oh yeah. So if I hold this one up, hopefully I won't lose it. I'll bring it nice and close. You can see it's getting that clear color. So they should end up being nice and flexible, which I need to make into little pinwheels. And I'm not gonna put toothpicks through them. I'm gonna let them all snug up against each other and hold each other in the smaller pan. So let me let these cool for a minute, and we'll be right back when I start loading up the pan, and I'll show you the process. Oops. All right, so got my zucchini, my mix. I'm only gonna put a little bit in each one, so a little bit more. It's not it's a teaspoon. And I'm gonna roll it, and I'm gonna stand it up. It is. It's not heaping at all. I'll show you nice and close. That is not heaping when you look at it from a teaspoon perspective. Roll it, stand it, right up against the other one. When I get a few of these in here, I will give you a nice close-up of what's going on. I like to make sure I get a little bit of all the ingredients in each one. The pepperonis, it's hard to tell with the onion, but pepperoni for sure. And I just keep working my way through. So let's speed this up as I work through it. So here you have it. And I definitely could have used that fourth zucchini simply to fill my little pan. I filled it about 2/3 of the way. They're nice little pinwheels, so I'm thinking I've got to do something, because not only did I not have enough zucchini to fill the pan, I've got extra filling. I can't let it go to waste. I've been thinking, what can I do, what can I do? Well, call me crazy. Nydia will hate me for this. But waste not, want not. And you know what? If nothing else, this will help hold everything in place. So yes, I have made a stuffed hot dog minus the hot dog. And I'm gonna let it just kind of sit in there. Like I said, it's sitting on the sauce. It's acting as a bit of a buffer so that I fill my pan. And I'm gonna have to ask you to forgive me for doing it. But let's show you the rest of what I need to do here with this part of the recipe, not the hot dog. The hot dog may go to waste, okay, the little roll there, but it's gonna help make sure that everything stays right where I've wanted it. So, my next step, actually let me get a fresh spoon. I'll be right back, and we'll spread some of the stuff on here and show you the finish. Got my spoon, got my marinara. I'm just adding a little layer right across the top. Making sure they all get a little bit. Not trying to go too crazy with the amount. And no, I'm not putting any on the hot dog. It's, like I said, that's just a, let's hold everything in place, so. But it does need a little bit of this sauce to be shared on these guys. Perfect. See, I got a little on that one. That's good. Put that aside. Sprinkle the cheese. And once again, the hot dog's not getting the cheese either. So, and it's just a hot dog roll, obviously, but you know, these recipes are experiments. They're learning opportunities. So I had an opportunity to learn, and what I learned is I should definitely get more zucchini next time. I was really hoping 3 would do it, but it didn't. Although I will say the cheese amount for the mozzarella, absolutely perfect. Let's take a look at my crazy pan here. Throw it in the oven, see how it goes. This is gonna go in for another 20 minutes, but after about 10-15 minutes, I'm gonna check on my hot dog roll, make sure that there's nothing bad happening there. So, and it goes, and I'll be back in a few. Okay, so I've taken it out of the oven, and yes, there's my little hot dog roll. And it actually, with the egg, it did actually stiffen up a bit. And now I got my little, everything's covered in their mozzarella. They're looking good. And I am going to take some of these out, put them on a plate, and then we'll see what we got here. But overall, it looks like a nice little pinwheel success. And I'm going to show you. There she is. My pinwheels. I like zucchini a lot. Nidia is not such a big fan, but me, I like it. Let's see if I can get a nice one here. Oh yeah, there's a nice one. Let me try this out. Oh yeah, nice and warm from the oven. This is a really good recipe. And it's really healthy. Very, very few carbs. So, you know what it makes me think of? It's a lot like eating a healthy pizza. Like I'm just eating the toppings. So, for now, Duane and Nidia, Food, Travel, and Fun. I'm Duane. Back in the kitchen. Remember, subscribe, tell your friends, hit like, hit the bell, so you'll get notified of anytime we put out some more new content, and I will see you on the other side.